If you have not heard by now, and I'm sure you have, Pope Francis passed away at the tender age of 88. Now, I'm not going to go the whole quote-unquote conspiratorial route. People in their 70s, 80s, 90s, not really a surprise when they pass away. It's what they do, unfortunately. But you know what? Just because he passed away at the age of 88 and it's what older people do, doesn't mean we can't take a look at a few things that may seem a little suspicious. It doesn't really take that off the table. It is like when Peter Higgs, who the God particle is named after, just happened to pass away on April 8th, the day of the solar eclipse, when CERN fired off the Large Hadron Collider looking for dark matter. Yes, he's over 90, but again, what are the odds? Now, there are people out there that are really focused on the fact that he passed away a day after Easter, Easter Monday, talking about how big of a coincidence that happens to be, but he actually passed away on the day that Rome had been founded. Now, according to tradition, on April 21st, 753 BC, Romulus and his twin brother Remus found Rome on the site where they were suckled by a she-wolf as orphan infants. And if you really want to get technical, mythology states they founded Rome the year 753. Pope Francis just happened to pass away 7:35 in the morning. Where have we heard that name before, Romulus and Remus? They also just happen to be the names of the two direwolves that were supposedly brought back from extinction. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. I did another video on them before. Yes, they are gray wolves with their DNA or genes manipulated. But again, that's their names, Romulus and Remus. And it was announced right before Pope Francis passed away, 5 days before, Elon Musk named his most recent child Romulus. So what is up with the name of Romulus and Remus heavily focused in the news lately? And now we have Pope Francis passing away on the day in Roman mythology that Romulus and Remus had founded Rome. Which is rather interesting because we also see this name pop up in Hollywood too in the most recent Alien movie that had to do with forced pregnancy. The movie is called Alien Romulus. So was it some sort of sacrifice or a ritual that the Pope would pass away again on the day of Romulus and Remus? I mean, who really knows? The man is 88. Stop being silly. But there was a very bizarre tweet that was posted on February 28th, 2025. This tweet said, pre-Oscars prediction, the Pope will die on Easter 2025 or within 48 hours, either side of noon that day. Be warned, I'm not omniscient. Now, could this be a woman who makes random predictions and then deletes her Twitter posts when they don't pan out, and maybe she was just spot on with this one? Using the Wayback Machine and looking at her other tweets, her other posts, that does not seem to be the case. But the fact she also includes be warned, I'm not all-knowing or a psychic or something along those lines kind of gives off the vibe that this is something that was pre-planned. Some even believe that this is not the original Pope Francis, that the original Pope Francis passed away months ago, and this was his replacement, basically yesterday being told he would step down, and they would tell the public he passed away. I mean, look at the noses. The noses, they do not shrink. Yes, people's faces change when they're sick, but noses do not shrink. But anyway, that is going deeper down the rabbit hole. But something else interesting also happened today that not many people are talking about, of course, given the fact that the Pope passed away, and that's going to be plastered all over the news. And it's the fact that the World Economic Forum founder, Klaus Schwab, has officially stepped down. What are the odds indeed that Klaus Schwab would be stepping down on the same exact day that Pope Francis passed away at 88? Reading this article from Reuters, it goes on to say that the Geneva-based World Economic Forum made the announcement on Monday after revealing earlier this month that the 87-year-old Schwab, who for decades has been the face of the Davos get-together, would be stepping down without giving a firm timeline. So yeah, prior when he made the announcement that he would be stepping down, he never said he would be stepping down on April 21st. He just suddenly, randomly out of the blue said, I'm going to immediately give up my position today, April 21st. The article goes on to quote Schwab by saying, following my recent announcement, and as I enter my 88th year, I have decided to step down from the position of chair and as a member of the board of trustees with immediate effect. Now, one might see this as a good thing, and make no mistake about it, it is, but at the end of the day, this is nothing more than the changing of the guard. The agenda still remains the same. The World Economic Forum still remains. This still gives off a bizarre Romulus and Remus vibe. We have two news stories involving two older men coming to an endpoint. Of course, Pope Francis passing away at 88, and Klaus Schwab saying he's stepping down in his 88th year. This is just so strange, and yes, I get it. They're old, they're elderly, but just because somebody or somebodies are old and elderly does not take away the fact that there are strange coincidences at play here that really give off ritualistic vibes. This all, again, taking place on the day of Romulus and Remus. And with them coming to this endpoint, there's that dual discussion of who's going to take over from them. Who's going to take over the World Economic Forum, and who is going to take over the Catholic Church.